Hey everyone, welcome back. It has been a while since we have done a monthly state of wrestling. So here we are for the month of April. With me once again, we have Campo.Reviews, the man who reviews TV shows, movies, and now wrestling. Um, so monthly state of wrestling, we haven't done it in a while. A lot of things have happened since we did one. Let's start with the big news, Vince returning. We haven't talked about Vince returning.
Yeah, it's pretty DS, if you don't mind me saying. The I don't know, it's stupid. It's really stupid.
Yeah,
I believe that this was all planned out by him. He
from the
knew that
beginning.
he would get a sale to a company, then the stipulation would be they have to bring him back on.
And that's exactly what it was. A lot of talent are also complaining that he does apparently seem to have some sort of creative
Well, there's multiple people that have asked to
leave.
potentially leave. There's a lot of rumors right now that Johnny Gargano wants out.
Yeah.
Um,
Drew apparently might be out as well. Drew
Drew
McIntyre.
McIntyre the other day, I want to say Sunday,
Hmm.
changed all his social media and deleted all of the stuff that says WWE on it.
Yeah, he blacked it out the same way Sasha Banks did right before she walked out.
So I think he's leaving. There's
Where
probably
would
gonna
he go?
I don't know. Like I've been telling people though, I think the if you've already made your money, which he has, and your goal is just to become a wrestling like legend, realistically, I'd go to Japan because in Japan, you're a huge monster, hairy white guy. They're gonna treat you like a god
Yeah.
in their company, where you're gonna dominate everyone. And he still has the ability to put on good matches. I think that's a good
I
choice.
mean, WrestleMania was a perfect example, like
Yeah.
that match between him, Sheamus, and Gunter.
And for name recognition value, I'm sure even Noah would be willing to throw a crap load of money at Drew McIntyre, especially seeing what Sasha Banks has done in New
In
Japan.
New Japan, yeah. So yeah, that's an interesting also a couple of NXT guys have asked for their release, and we don't know if they have or if they haven't, like Jagger Reed and the guys from Dyad there, Schism.
Yeah, which a lot of people were really upset about that.
Yeah.
I don't know what we're gonna see. I think it's gonna be a lot bigger
Yeah.
than we think. And you
Um,
could see that Vince is back.
yep.
You
In
can
the
tell right
bookings.
away.
Yeah.
Um,
The Mania main event had his fingerprints all over it.
Night 2 was just Vince.
Yeah.
Like you could just Night 2 was nothing but Vince.
And same thing with the Raw after Mania.
Yeah, that was the most Vince thing I've ever seen.
Like
Sorry, my
a
camera's
swerve for
moving.
the swerve for the sake of a swerve in Brock and Cody and like I don't know. That was
Yeah, to be honest with you, it's a disaster right now in WWE. And as good as stories they were telling, I think they really need to be careful at this point because
there's going to be a mass exodus, I think, not just
I
of talent but of viewership too.
and okay, they're always gonna have viewers because it's WWE, right? And that's gonna be what that is. AEW and Impact right now, like AEW is having some amazing storytelling, and we'll get to that when we get
Yeah.
there. But like they've exceeded every other story they've ever written, and it's happening throughout like 5 different storylines right now.
Yeah. Whereas I think
And
right now WWE is solely focusing on the bloodline, which that now has
Impact,
gotten long
yeah,
in the tooth.
exactly. And they're going the wrong direction, which we'll also go back to that in one sec. But Impact also, from the start of the year, we were a bit disappointed because we said this might be the year of Impact. But since they've started to really get back on track,
Yep.
their storytelling is really clicking. I'm very excited to see some of these matches that are coming up at
Yeah.
Rebellion. It might possibly be one of the best pay-per-views they ever put on. The WWE storyline bothers me for 2 reasons. One, because now you've kind of removed Cody Rhodes out of this picture, so he's irrelevant.
Mm-hmm.
You put him into a feud with Brock to buy time, but they might not even take the title off Roman Reigns until next year at Mania.
Yeah. They
And
want
what
that
the rumor
1,000
I'm
day.
hearing is it will not be against Cody Rhodes. It will be against The Rock, probably.
That's what they're gonna wait on, eh?
You're gonna wait to lose? No, come on. Okay. Anyways, that
Well, there's
aside,
I saw this thing. In order for Roman to break Bruno's record, he has to be champion until October 2028. I think that might happen.
Yeah, because he might die with the titles on. I don't think so. I think my thing is that I think they just want to hit the 1,000-day mark.
which is in and around SummerSlam, I think.
It's just before SummerSlam, I'm pretty sure. Anyways, sorry, I digress from
Yeah.
the point. So back to telling that story. Um, I'm worried that I thought the way the story was being directed, which was the right choice. Okay,
Hmm.
it was to have Sami Zayn and the Kevin Owens situation happen, and then also have um
Cody beat.
maybe potentially and maybe potentially have Jey Uso leave and fight back or whatever happens with
Yeah.
Jey Uso. Okay, but the way the storyline looks now and the rumors that are coming from like Wrestling Observer and stuff is that the plan is to turn Sammy on Kevin Owens before they do that. So it's like you're already
Already?
moved. You've already not like soon, maybe by like Mania to plan it so they could feud at Mania. But it
That's
seems
a
so
stupid move.
stupid because your storyline was already on a perfect trajectory to go where we kind of wanted it to go, and now you've diverted everything into new directions.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely they have. And right now the booking makes no sense. Like who's up next for Gunter? Is it Shinsuke again because he made his return?
I think Shinsuke should get a shot at the world title. Forget about that. But
But what's the point? Like, see, that's the thing too. Like, this is one thing we've talked about ad nauseum as well with the World Championship. I hope something happens on Friday where is it this Friday or next Friday when they're doing the draft? I can't remember. I know they're
I think
doing a
it's next
draft.
Friday.
Okay. What I'm hoping is for the World Heavyweight Championship just become one belt and bring another belt to Raw.
So go undisputed championship
Yeah.
and then bring back the gold belt. Okay, I like that idea.
Well, okay, gold belt, sure, winged eagle, whatever tickles your
It has to be
fancy.
the WCW belt.
But they cannot go on with him being dual champ and not having when Brock had I think when Brock had the Universal Championship, there was always that secondary belt to keep the pay-per-views going. And now they don't have that. And what we're saying about ad nauseum is it's been the same finish for every Roman Reigns match for the last 2 years now.
Yeah, okay, so you're trying to book him to feel you're trying to make him out to be like an all-time legend. He's not, but okay, that's fine. I'm sure modern fans truly believe he's the greatest. Um which I am a modern fan and I
Yeah,
know that's not true. But anyways, the issue is not only is he not that good of a wrestler, like don't get me wrong, he's fine. He can easily put on a really good match, especially if you give him someone good to work with.
yeah, like
He's not like
the Clash of the
terrible.
Castle match between
Yeah,
him and Drew McIntyre was
even
fantastic.
SummerSlam against Brock Lesnar was good, except just the stipulation of the match we knew was going to screw the match over. But
Yeah,
the thing is, if you look at his thing, we talked about this before, his record of defenses, they're mostly through using DQs type tactics
distractions, ref bumps.
and it just how are you trying to make this guy go on this epic run, but you keep booking him like he's not a good wrestler?
Yeah,
Like
it's
I don't
like
believe it anymore.
this is Hulk Hogan's run in the NWO, where Hogan, but even then, Hogan did at least win a few clean matches.
Yeah. Hogan also fought some really good people.
Yeah,
Roman Reigns doesn't have that ability not to beat them. I mean, he doesn't have anyone to go against, and now he's beat everyone.
there's
Who do
nobody
you fight
left.
now? Who do
There's
you fight
nobody
now?
left.
Drew's leaving. Sheamus is tied up in the mid divisions. You beat Cody. Gunther's still with the Intercontinental Championship, and it
Yeah,
looks like the
he'll
rumor
break the
is
record.
he's gonna hold it until he breaks the record.
Yeah, and then they want to do the Brock Gunter feud, I think, at SummerSlam.
Oh, that's great. Brock versus Gunther. That's what I want. Not Gunther to fight an actually good wrestler, to fight a
Yeah,
washed up old wrestler that was never very good.
apparently that's what the internet is clamoring for is Brock versus Gunter.
Yeah, I expect that to be what WWE marks
Will do.
want.
Yeah.
Like, and this is, you know what? Like, I like to be aggressively negative.
Yeah.
I actually don't mind WWE. You know, I don't. I
Yeah.
just don't like the fan base of WWE. It bothers me. Not the wrestling fans, the just purely I only watch WWE
WWE.
fans. because
Yeah.
there's so much wrestling in the world, and it's unfair that one company
I think we're
just
hitting a
dominate.
peak right now in
It's
wrestling.
probably the greatest time ever in wrestling history right now,
Yeah, we got so many companies hitting their strides now,
especially
and
because Mexican and Japanese wrestling now is so widely available, and the sudden burst of popularity of wrestling coming from like Brazil and our Australia and the UK at this
New
moment.
Zealand, yeah,
Yeah, it's like the wrestlers are just coming left and right out of those places. And I think if it's never been a better time to like wrestling.
yeah, absolutely. If people are willing to open themselves up to other styles and other companies.
Yeah. And I think, sure, like I said, those some companies had hiccups. Impact right
Yeah,
now is putting up record numbers in the last 3 years for viewership.
yeah, and
And they're
arguably the
actually,
last
we
shows,
hated, like, we had a bad run with them, right? For
yeah,
a bit. And when we thought it was going to be good, and they're back.
yeah, yeah. We haven't watched Rebellion yet, or at least not all of it. Watched little
Well,
bits here.
those reviews are coming.
Yeah, they are coming.
Unforeseen issues.
Yeah, things beyond our control, but yeah, so let's move on. Let's go to the next company there, because the next two can tie in. We can tie in a couple with the next one with AEW. Since the last time we spoke, Jay White did make his AEW debut,
Amazing.
and he's teaming up with Juice,
Amazing. You
Bullet
told me
Club
two
Black and
amazing
Gold.
things. You told me amazing things here. I wish they didn't call it black and gold or gold, whatever it's called,
Mhm.
because it feels too NWO, and it already
Yeah,
and is already kind of NWO. Um,
but they
but
got some good members now. They
they
just
say
like,
go ahead.
well, I mean, they got some good, because Chris Bay and Ace Austin are part of it. And a spoiler for Capital Collision, Clark Connors is now a member
Of not of
of the
that
other one,
version, of the
one.
other
Yeah.
version. Which that's great. And we called it. Listen, if we're gonna go on predictions, I was talking to someone the other day when I found that out, and I've almost nailed every single prediction for what's going to happen with factions only, purely just with
Yeah,
factions, like spot on.
you have been.
If the five guys get a sixth guy right now and the LIJ gets another guy, I nailed every single thing that I said.
Yeah. Because yeah, we both also called Sonata winning too.
Yeah.
And
Hey,
we
shout out to
called,
Fab.
did you see what he said in the comments for that video? He goes, we did him dirty.
Yeah. Osanada.
We also called Kyle Fletcher and Davis winning the IWGP Tag Team Championships as well at
It had to be.
yeah. Yeah, absolutely. And we're going to do a little quick review later, probably coming next week, of the Collision Series events as
Which for
well.
some reason is 2 days now, I
Yeah,
guess.
there was one in Washington and one in Philly. So the major one, I think, was the one in Washington. But yeah, so going back to what we were saying about Impact, they're doing some great things, but they're also doing some dumb things. What happened to Taya Valkyrie?
Oh, Black Magic. So this is funny. So I'm still relatively new to this. But I realized that in the world of wrestling, there's only two companies that really truly believe in kayfabe, and that's WWE and Impact. Impact exists within the world of other wrestling, but you can
Yeah,
see through this and like recent storytelling that the kayfabe for them is super important. Like
yeah,
Santino Marella doesn't lose the accent. Um, there's a lot of
yeah.
stuff
They
going
don't know
on
what
there.
happened to Taya Valkyrie. She disappeared.
Yeah, but you can watch her on Wednesday nights at
Yeah.
on
No, but
AEW.
that's the thing though. You can't where is she? Like, we haven't seen her on Dynamite or
She
I
was on
think
Rampage. She had a match last week,
Rampage. Okay. Are they
and the week before they had the sit down talk
oh, the
between
sit
her
down,
and.
yeah. Are they rebuilding back up to a match versus Jade?
I don't understand the logic of this, because if you're trying to do what I think you're trying to do with Jade, you're not going to have her lose at 55-0. You're running this for a long time more, but also you didn't bring Taya Valkyrie in to
To have
lose
her.
to Jade,
Yeah.
especially when she seems like the most logical choice to beat her.
Yeah. This is Jade is being booked more like Roman Reigns than Goldberg.
I think what you're gonna have, someone told this to me today, and I thought that's a really good idea. They'll book them in a 3-way match where Taya wins the title, but it doesn't count as a loss to
Tie it to Jade because
Jade because
somebody
she
else will
doesn't
get
get
pinned.
pinned. Yeah,
Okay.
right. Like you
I
can
could see
easily
that.
have it on Thunder Rosa's comeback, have her be in that match
Yeah,
and take the loss.
that's true. That could work. That could work. But what direction do you think they're going to be taking Adam Cole now?
That's a hard one because there's so many options here. I do think Blackpool Combat Club is going to take somebody else. So I do think that they're probably going to shoehorn Adam Cole into the Elite with Adam Page and make them a faction so that they can team up.
Okay.
And then you have long-term storytelling there too because of the Undisputed Elite breakup, Kenny Omega and Adam Cole not really
Yeah,
liking each other and all of this and that. Then you also have a spin-off of that feud. I mean, a spin-off for that storyline
with
because
Jay White too.
with Jay White, and then Chris Jericho right now is trying to feud with Adam Cole, and he's also feuding with Blackpool Combat Club. And
Hmm.
also, if you make Blackpool Combat Club get another member, it's probably going to be Daniel Garcia, which will give them even more reason to want to fight against.
Yeah, the JAS.
So I think there's multiple storylines, and I think
Yeah,
the storytelling is so deep right now. You can pull out so much, right? Even Taya Valkyrie versus Jade is really good storytelling right now. It's just I don't know what they're gonna do with it. The
Taya. Maybe
Outcasts,
the story of redemption, where she after Jade gets a couple more wins under her belts, maybe she hits 75, and then that's when Taya.
I don't know. You can fast track her to that if you just keep having her wrestle on Dark and Dark Elevation.
Yeah. Like, yeah, she's had the defenses, but the quality of the defenses and the quality of the
Every match is the same match. She's Goldberg. She's Lady
yeah,
Goldberg.
and that's essentially what they're doing. This
Thank
has
God she didn't win the women's title.
yeah,
We'd be in a big mess.
yes, we would. Speaking of the women's, what's next for what's her name there? Forgot her name now.
Yes. Can't
Jamie
help you if you
Hayter.
I can't help you if you don't know who you're talking about.
Jamie Hayter.
Um she needs to stay with the title. I rarely say this, but she needs a good another 100 200 days of that belt.
And
She's
then
amazing.
yeah, she is. She's been doing some good stuff with this.
And she can work with anyone they put her in the ring with.
Yeah. I'm still waiting for her to go against Sheeta.
I'll take that. I'll take that because that 4-way match was a banger.
Yeah. So I think Sheeta maybe I don't know, like and this the women's division is actually quite strong right now if you really think about
Oh,
it.
it's
And
far better than WWE has.
like even the whole thing with like the imports or whatever you want to call them, the outsiders faction there with
Yeah.
Ruby Riot
Yeah,
and
and that's a good storyline too. It's just the issue I have with them is none of them can talk. Um,
yeah,
like Paige can run the mic for a little bit, but then she just gets really silly
annoying.
sounding.
Yeah.
Yeah. And Tony Storm is fine in small bursts, but Ruby Soho literally can't even do any talking at all.
Yeah, I know. She's pretty bad on the mic.
But they're good
Yeah.
wrestlers.
Yeah, they are,
I
and they're
mean,
doing some good stuff with like Brit and them. So
their healing up is really good. I don't understand where they're gonna go because I don't think you can give Paige a title.
yeah, she's already had her shot and lost though.
I don't think you can give her a title. Um,
Maybe
Ruby,
another
maybe Ruby can win.
yeah, Ruby, because that's the only logical choice because they've already done it with Paige, they've already done it with Tony. So
I mean, Tony Storm was a really good champion.
yeah,
I was sad to see her lose it, but then to see what Jamie Hayter has done has been like
yeah.
amazing.
Okay, let's keep going with the champions then. What about Hobbs?
I don't know. I don't know what to do with that storyline. I'm literally at a loss for words. You kind of pulled Ricky Starks out of that. Ricky Starks is stuck
Is
in
now
the
feuding with Jay White,
Bullet Club feud,
which is
which
good
for
for
me,
Starks. It keeps him
it's
high
good for
profile.
Starks, but it makes no sense for
Yeah,
Jay White. Jay White is not, and I think a lot of people don't understand this because they don't know who he is, or they don't watch Japanese wrestling at all, he's like legitimately like Roman Reigns superstar level. And I don't understand why he's in a not even a mid card feud. Not to take away from Ricky Starks, but right
Yeah.
now Ricky Starks has no clout. As good as he is, he has zero clout. So having a Juice Robinson that's done nothing since he came to the US,
Yeah.
and have Ricky Starks who's just been mildly exiting feuds for the last like half a year. What are you doing with Jay White? You're
Yeah.
elevating a Ricky Starks. You're not elevating Jay White. You're making
No,
Jay
you're
White
actually
look
bringing
like an
Jay White
idiot.
down. And
Yeah.
remember, that's one prediction we didn't get right, was we thought Juice was going to overthrow Joe.
Yeah. But he still could.
Yeah, that's still
But
a
I also
possibility.
Joe's also gonna run for the
A
record.
while. Joe's also going to try to hit the record
Yeah.
as well. Yeah. Okay, since we're moving to ROH and Impact, it's all part of the same thing here. Ring of Honor. What's next for who's next for Claudio? I'm tired of the JAS feuds with them. Even though it's good, I don't see anybody else feuding.
Well, you know I want who I want to win the title, and that's
It's got
Peacock
to happen
Power.
eventually.
Oh, you were gonna think I was saying Mark Briscoe?
Well, yeah, no.
Peacock Power.
Oh,
Dalton Castle should be the champion. Because I want it, not because it makes sense. Yeah.
but Dalton Castle, apparently his contract is up in the air still.
Well, apparently that's what the whole Blackpool Combat Club thing was, to write him off TV.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll see where that goes. You got to pay that man.
Yeah.
Because he will go to Impact and they will use him right.
Oh, if he goes to Impact, he will definitely be up at the top of the card.
You know how over he would be in Japan?
Oh yeah, with the flamboyance and
yeah, they wouldn't even get the gay subtle notes. They would only just see the flamboyance and just be like, ah, yes, peacocks.
Yeah. Have him against Hiromu Takahashi.
Oh, that's perfect. Now you're thinking. Anyways, digressing. But I want to say one thing. We've gone too far. Orange Cassidy needs to lose.
Yeah, his run is done. Like, I mean,
I'm so tired of it.
Gabriel Kidd, I think that's it. Like, you've really exhausted your options with
Gabriel Kidd.
I can understand if it were someone like Robbie Eagles.
Yeah, it could have been friggin' Juice Robinson. I don't care. It could have been David Finlay. It could have been David Finlay. It could have been Clark Connors. Like, Gabriel Kidd is lower than Clark Connors.
Yes, okay? Absolutely.
But yeah, whatever. That's so. He needs to lose the title. I don't get it. FTR, congratulations. That was banger. We got to talk about that.
Yes,
that was
absolutely.
Great.
We do.
Huge song for the Guns. The way they came out.
The Guns. They're part of the Black and Gold faction too.
Oh yeah. Well, yep. I missed a lot.
Yeah. So it's the Guns, and that's who I was thinking. It was the Guns and Juice and Jay.
Okay. And I'm sure Chris Bay and them will join.
Will be part of it. They're part of Bullet Club USA. But yeah.
But yeah, I mean,
it makes me excited for Forbidden Door too.
It makes me so excited because you can have the entire pay-per-view just be a feud between Bullet Club.
Yeah.
Because guess who else was in Bullet Club? The Undisputed Elite.
Yes.
So that all ties back into this, right? You can have them be like getting
a 4 versus 4 versus 4 match.
Yeah, you just give me every match with Bullet Club for the whole night.
But yeah, I'd take it. You got to throw an Osprey in there somewhere though.
Yeah, you could have
unless Osprey is the one who's going to dethrone Orange.
I hope so. That would be great.
And it
would pay back New Japan for the fact that AEW constantly has New Japan titles, but they don't give any titles back to them.
Yeah. So I think this would, being called now the International Championship, I think this would be a great show of
which could be some of the play into why they did that.
Yeah. So I could see him. I think that's why it was Gabriel Kidd. This is just a placeholder. I think hopefully my hope is until Ospreay comes back.
And you can tell the hand thing is leading to him losing the title. Like, his hand is hurt. They're doing that on purpose to so when he loses it, there's a reason.
There's a reason to it. Because at this point now, Sonata, I don't think you're going to take the belt off him this soon.
Oh, you can't. Come on.
He's doing too good.
He's the guy.
Yeah. So
Okay, so
you don't think Takahashi's going to beat him?
no, I don't, because
That's going to happen. What, at Dontaku?
yeah, I did. I don't now. I
Hmm.
thought, hey, what better double champion to like seal a career before you give up both titles immediately?
Yeah, but I mean, my hope is that this is going to lead to a Naito Sonata Wrestle Kingdom match.
Yeah, it should, if you know what you're doing, and they usually do.
Could this be the year for Naito's G1?
I mean, it should be. You're
It'll
asking
tell a
me?
great
That's my
story. He
favorite
can
wrestler.
finally,
Yeah, it
he'll
should
beat
be.
Will Ospreay in the finals again or
He should
something.
win everything. If I was booking, Naito would have all the titles from every company. He would win every G1 every year. Um, but yeah, it's just it is what it is for that. Um, like we kind of sidetracked there, but like
Yeah.
back to Claudio for a second.
Hmm.
I don't know who you take the title off him for, or use to take the title from him, unless you're gonna use Joe. But then you're already doing stuff with him.
With Joe, yeah. Unless, which I hope not, because I think I'm done with him, is CM Punk.
But I don't think they're gonna put CM Punk on Ring of Honor. They could actually, because he's a staple from the historical days of Ring of
Yeah.
Honor.
So that is an option because there's rumors that he is coming
All
back.
right, let's get the elephant out of the room.
Sure. Go for
Should
it.
they bring him back? No. Is he
No.
that much of a clout monster? No.
He is a
And
draw. He does sell tickets.
he does, but if you look at it, well, I was watching a bunch of people talk about it today on YouTube. After the immediate like burst you get from him for the first like 2 months, it just goes back to the same numbers. That's what happened the last two times when he came originally, then when he got injured and he came back. People
Yeah.
just don't care about CM Punk that much. He immediately will get you people, but I do think in the sense of you having Punk, you having your roster almost back at full health. You have Adam Cole back. You have Jay White now. You have Taya Valkyrie.
Hmm.
Jeff Hardy came back.
Yeah, that's right.
I think they do like have a lot of power to pull. So we'll
You
see how
think we'll
that
get
goes.
Hardys versus FTR eventually?
Yeah, you'll get that right away probably, but they're not going to win.
No.
If anything, the
Well,
Hardys
maybe
are going
they
to win Ring
will
of Honor.
because I think Hardys, that's the only championship they haven't won yet.
Did they win Ring of Honor?
Yes, they have. They beat the Bucks
Maybe they win and then lose.
just to cement their career.
Maybe there's like a thing where it sets up the match, right? They have they win on like a dynamite, and then the fall, not the next weekend, the immediate weekend, but the following weekend is a pay-per-view, so that's what it's building to, and then FTR wins the titles back.
Back at like say Double or Nothing or something.
Yeah. It would be a good way to elevate a feud.
Yeah. I could see that.
You
And
can't let the Hardys go on a long run. Matt Hardy doesn't have it anymore.
no, but I think you have to give the belts to the Hardys just for the sake of like another championship for them kind of thing.
And also, you don't want to have a team that legendary and not give them what they need, kind of thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like Matt Hardy does a lot for them.
Yeah, you may not be on TV as much, but he's doing a lot with like the guys backstage now, and so
Well, it's like AEW has always been the best for that, even though they haven't been around for long.
yeah.
With pairing the veteran talent with the up and coming people, right? So like
Yeah.
right now, I mean, we talked about it before. You had Taz and whoever Sting doing all this stuff with these people. Now you have Matt Hardy with
Hmm.
Isaiah Cassidy, and is that
Mark
what his
Quinn.
name is?
Yeah, is it
And
the Private Party?
yeah, and you have him with them, and you have him with Hook.
Yeah,
And I think that was a smart move putting Hook with them. I actually really thought that was a good idea. I don't know what you do with Ethan Page now.
Ethan Page. What if Ethan Page joins Jay White?
I think he has to. I think he's his only option for how good of a heel he is and how much heat he has is to put him in Bullet Club, because
I think he'll fit right in there.
the firm is not gonna last.
No, but
Yeah, they don't know what to do with Big Bill. They have no idea what to do with him.
yeah,
And I think you need to put what's his name? Moriarty.
yeah, Lee Moriarty.
You need to put him on Ring of Honor.
Yeah, I think he'll do well. Speaking of Ring of Honor, let's talk about Ibushi. What's going to happen with Ibushi now as the champ? Is it Clark Connors?
Ibushi, you mean
Not Ibushi. Sorry, Shibata. Shibata.
Shibata? I think that's a clout situation. They're just trying to bring clout to Ring of Honor. If they get him, maybe they can get Japanese people to watch, and that's kind of what they
Yeah.
want, right?
Who would you put in with him next? Is it Juice? Is it Jay?
It'd be Kota Ibushi.
Because apparently rumor has it he's on his way there too.
If
Unless
you,
he's the fourth member to join Omega and the Bucks.
I mean, that's always possible. That's always possible. But I mean, I don't know, man. He's such a disaster.
Yeah.
Like, really good wrestler,
Can't stay
human,
healthy.
and he's just like a really hard person to work with too. Apparently, he's bad in the locker room. We know that he's hard to fight with. He hurts a
Yeah.
lot of people.
But hey, okay, we exhausted our Ring of Honor. Let's stick with this theme though and head over to Japan. They announced, was it All Together Again, the giant crossover event?
Yeah, listen, I don't care for their names, but yeah, like we recently just saw King Slayer Queendom 4572 plus
Yep.
7 in Stardom. So
Are they naming it like the what's that game called? Kingdom Hearts?
Kingdom Hearts, it's 45 over 72. Uh yeah, it's the dumbest names ever. I don't know in the hoopy doops, but let's
But
see what they.
it's that because I'm kind of looking forward to that now. All Japan, New Japan,
I think
and
that's great. I think that's one of the best things. And we got Multiverse 2 was announced,
yeah, that's right. That's right.
and
In
it's this
Philadelphia.
year.
Yes, August. It's already in the
They have two
calendar.
in 1 year. This is like Impact is not going to slow down. They're going full power right now. They know this is what they got to do.
They're riding a hot streak and they're going to keep riding that hot streak. Apparently, Rebellion, I haven't, like I said, we haven't had a chance to watch the whole thing, but it is by there. Everybody's saying it's one of the best pay-per-views they've put on in a long time.
Yeah, it might possibly even look fantastic. I don't know. If I might just uproot the company and have them wrestle in that venue for the rest of their career, the history of
Yeah,
that company. Just have it in Toronto.
it's a great venue. It's a little small, but yeah,
Yeah, but it just visually looks good though.
with the lighting on the side of the
Yeah,
ceiling.
but Impact's no stranger to small venues, right? The Windsor venue was probably the biggest venue I've seen them wrestling in a
Yeah.
long time, and it's not very big. It's like
And they were saying
5,000
this was the first
people.
time back in Toronto since 2019.
Yeah. I
And
mean,
yeah,
there's a huge market for wrestling in Canada, especially in Toronto. If you had a mainstay thing like the
but the thing is
Orlando
too,
building,
Impact has a lot of top Canadian talent too.
they do.
So I could see them doing like a little Windsor, London, Toronto, like
They
doing
should go
a
do an England show. Like, and don't go like into a major venue. Get one of those venues that New Japan uses. That's like
yeah.
a club, a nightclub, right?
Who's
That
who's who? There is a company going to England. Is it AEW is going to England, aren't
AW,
they?
yeah.
Yeah. So they'll be
We'll
doing
see.
it.
If they can sell out that stadium, I think it's a game changer for wrestling.
Yeah. But the
And
thing
I
is,
think they will.
does AEW have the same? Like I know in North America and Japan, AEW does have that following, but do they have it overseas? Because overseas they are very WWE heavy.
Okay, so let's just say this. You have not only all of Europe that you can pull from because people have enough time to plan for this,
Mhm.
number one. Um, to me, from what I noticed, so the arguably almost all of the top end of YouTube wrestling YouTubers,
Right.
if not guarantee the top five, are all
Based
British
from the
companies.
UK. Yeah.
And to me, they come off as like the most purest form of wrestling fanatics where they watch any wrestling that comes through their doors because they don't get wrestling very often. They're growing
Right.
up on these indie projects, right? ICW
Rev Pro.
and Rev Pro, and there's one in Scotland. I don't remember what it's called. But that's what they're watching, right? So they have this appreciation for wrestling, and I think there's no way in hell You're gonna have the 100 years of Wembley, the celebration.
Yeah,
AEW's coming over, the first other wrestling company that's been there since New
since
Japan was there,
WWE.
and WWE. Like there was years. They're gonna eat this up. This is their chance to go watch it. And we
Yeah,
know AEW tickets are not as expensive as WWE. I paid the same price for SmackDown tickets that we paid for
Forbidden
AEW
Door,
Forbidden Door.
and that's a freaking huge pay-per-view.
Yeah. So I think it will. I think the doubters are crazy for saying that they won't sell out this stadium. I think for sure they will. I know it's a massive stadium. It's like
Yeah,
80,000 people with the floor seats,
yeah, that is huge.
but you're doing it in London, England.
Where people may have never seen these wrestlers before live.
Oh, I'm sure a lot of people in England would kill to see Kenny Omega,
Yeah. Oh yeah. For sure, for
right? Because they
sure.
don't get the opportunities like we do,
No.
where those companies come around like 4 times a year, and even the Japanese are coming like really close to Toronto enough that we can go watch it. So now they're
I have
going
a
to be
feeling
here
before the year is out, I think New Japan, even strong or something, may do a show.
in Rebel. I think too. I genuinely think because working with Impact, they're talking about it. Someone
Yeah.
watched that and was like, "You look at this." Because they're New Japan, when they come over to North America, they wrestle in really small venues.
Yeah, usually it's where I've always seen them has been the Ted Reeve Arena,
I
which
don't even
is
know what
like
that is.
it's a very, very small hockey arena. ROH used to do a lot of shows out of there
Okay, so
too.
if Ring of Honor did, then it's definitely small. Ring of
Yeah.
Honor has broken their size, their like pop. Oh my god, attendance record
Record.
like every single pay-per-view so far since they've been with
Yeah.
AEW.
Well, this last pay-per-view, the Super Card of Honor was their biggest gate ever.
Yeah, because they keep
And
getting bigger and bigger venues. Mind you, don't let it fool you. I saw pictures. The other side of the arena was
it
pretty
was pretty
empty,
empty.
but it was
Yeah.
a much larger arena than they normally
Yeah.
play to.
If it's a 20,000 seat arena, they probably had 16, 7,
Yeah, no, it
15,
wasn't. It was like a 12,000
13.
seater. So they
Okay.
probably had like 9K in there.
Yeah.
I mean,
And
mind you, this is the thing. When Ring of Honor is doing it, they're wrestling in way smaller places. Like
so it looks more.
they're not wrestling in like Boston or New York. They're wrestling in like Wichita,
Kansas.
Wisconsin.
Yeah.
Yeah, like you know what I mean? So that's like why.
Yeah. This time it was in Los Angeles, though. That's why it was a bigger venue.
And it was, it did have a lot of people.
Yeah.
But you could see if you saw the other side, there was a lot of empty seats.
Yeah. I know what a lot of people like, what a lot of companies do, that if it's not sold out and a lot of there's tickets on the non-camera side, they move them over to the camera side.
I mean, you should, right? Unless you're New Japan, because they always wrestle in like recreation centers where you can see
Where
the whole thing.
there's no balcony seating, it's all
Yeah,
floor
there's
seating.
no hard cam. It's just like the cameras are just on constant movement. Yeah, so
Yeah. Anything else for Japan? Congratulations, Fletcher and Davis.
yeah, you know what? Just keep doing wrestling. Just
Yeah.
you guys do it good. Just keep on doing it. We're about to take a dip into Mexican wrestling soon.
Yes.
We had what Triple A's
The first of 3 Triple Manias. They do 3 shows.
Jesus Christ.
Yes, I think it's going to be one. It just happened on Sunday, and then there's another one in July, and then I think September or October.
Well, I don't know how we're gonna do that then, because I don't know if we're gonna wait till the end to watch all Triple Manias.
No, I think we'll watch the Triple Mania as they go, and then touch
If
upon
one
it.
of them is review worthy, we'll
We'll
review it.
review it.
If not, you'll just get a score.
Yeah, because
On another review.
there was a match. It was Hijo del Vikingo defending against. Who was he defending against? Not Volador.
Ooh, no, Volador can't wrestle there because he's CMLL.
He's CMLL. I can't remember now, but
That
it
would be a
was.
wicked match.
It would be though.
It's so crazy that we literally can't ever see those guys wrestle just because those two companies don't like each other. It's
Yeah.
not even like a kayfabe WWE thing. It's literally they just don't like each other.
It's WWE and AEW, right? They'll never work together. Those
Yeah,
two.
but they acknowledge each other's existence.
That's true.
Yeah, okay. Well, but we
It
got
was
that coming.
Commander, Rich Swann, and Swerve Strickland. It was a 4-way match.
Oh, that's a good match.
Yeah,
That's a really good match.
yeah,
Swerve Strickland,
and Rich Swann,
Rickabald Swan.
Rickabald Swan.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Japanese wrestling.
apparently this show was pretty good.
Very
Allegedly,
well. Allegedly, we'll watch it. Okay.
we will watch it. We'll definitely give it a score. If it's review worthy, we'll review it.
Um, I'm okay. Before I think we're done, but
We've got to touch on Impact a little bit more and
okay.
the great things they're doing.
Noah, I haven't seen anything from Noah lately. Did they just like shut down business and move on?
I think they're waiting to do the triple show.
Because I haven't even I pay for the streaming service and they have nothing on there. DDT is the only one doing anything that's new
Yeah,
coming
and
up on there.
Stardom just finished their Princess Tournament of the Sky or something.
You mean Joshi Pro?
Was it Joshi Pro? Isn't Stardom on there too?
No.
No,
Stardom is New Japan.
it's New Japan. Okay,
Yeah,
yeah,
no, it was Joshi Pro. You're right. Yeah, you're right though. It was the Princess
yeah.
tournament, and I did miss it.
But yeah. Noah hasn't. They've been quiet lately, and I'm wondering what's up with that. They also don't have week to week TV either, don't they? Do they?
I don't think anyone in Japan does.
Yeah, but I mean, at least New Japan, they have like the road to Dontaku. You know what I mean? They have
Yeah, but
those.
occasionally they'll just have periods where nothing happens.
Yeah. Like, for example, in July, when they do the G1, they don't have the road to the G1.
Yeah, but the G1 is what I'm watching because I'm getting
Yes,
5 matches a day every day. You know what
5
I
great
mean?
matches. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, Impact, they're on a roll. I mean, I really like the team. Like, let's go with like the team of Taylor Wilde and Kylan King.
I don't know. I like it so much. I hate that I like it so much. It's so stupid, but they're so good.
But I mean, Taylor Wilde she's a Canadian wrestling legend.
And I never remember, like, hey, don't say not, don't remember her being that good. She came back and
Hmm.
she was involved in a couple high profile matches before she got to this. And I don't remember any of those matches being outstanding to the point where I was like, wow, she looked really good. But the last match and possibly at Rebellion, which we haven't reviewed yet,
Yeah,
she was fantastic. I don't know because we haven't reviewed it,
viewed
but
it yet,
possibly
possibly.
she was fantastic.
But yeah, and she's doing some really good things. Trey Miguel is doing good things with the X Division
Trey
Championship.
Miguel's a really good wrestler. He's a little bit underappreciated.
Yeah,
And I do really wonder what is the plans with Mike Bailey
yeah,
because
and
he
Gresham.
Gresham is gonna stand on his own 2 feet. Mike Bailey is a good wrestler. He's not on top, like he's not an elite wrestler at this point. He could be.
I think he's that utility player. When they need a good wrestler to put in a match somewhere, he's there.
Yeah, and but the thing is, it's like, what do you do with him now? Because he just keeps losing.
Yeah,
And he doesn't belong in the top of the card. But if you keep having him lose,
he's gonna drop below the mid card.
yeah. So it's kind of like, what do you do with him now?
He's gonna become like the Barry Horowitz of Brooklyn.
You need to find a high profile feud for him, and that's not for anything, and just have him win.
Who do they got though that he can?
That's name value, Frankie Kazarian. But then
Yeah,
also, I don't know if you want to do that.
I
Does
mean,
Frankie Kazarian want to do that? I think that's what's more
well, the thing
important.
too, at his point in the career now, Frankie Kazarian, if he takes a couple losses, it's not going to mean anything.
I think you have to, yeah, you can use Frankie as like Jericho. He
Yeah,
can be their Jericho.
he'll beat Bailey maybe once, but then Bailey will get the
Yeah,
revenge on him.
and I'm
Oh,
just gonna go.
yeah, I was gonna say, speaking of Bailey, we missed that at the beginning of the show. She may be gone too.
Oh yeah, Bailey. That was the other one. We remember there was someone we couldn't think of.
Yeah,
Um, Not Mike Bailey. I think I'm just gonna float this idea out there, and it's for no particular reason because we have not watched Rebellion. Um, Killer Kelly
Hmm.
versus Masha Slamovich,
Yes, please.
like a full feud, like let it build up to like a hardcore match.
Yeah. I think that's why they were placed in that match as well,
And
is
the pay
because
per view we haven't seen yet. This is the best running joke we've ever had in an
yes,
episode. Yeah,
yeah,
no,
and
but like
then
for real, because Killer Kelly has almost no purpose in Impact.
yeah, but if she gets like Masha Slamovich, she can come back. But if Killer Kelly goes in a feud with Slamovich, gets on a good run,
Yeah, and I
Killer
think
Kelly versus Deonna Purrazzo.
I think you're gonna have a blow off feud between two people. I don't know because we haven't seen this pay per view.
Hmm.
It's gonna keep going for a bit, and then Masha Slamovich is gonna immediately get put back into that picture.
Yeah, she has to. She
Um,
has to.
but yeah, that is what that is. But I would like to see that. I think I don't know what you do with Bully Ray. I don't know what you do with Tommy Dreamer. I get why they're there.
Yeah,
You're learning from AEW,
but
and I
Tommy
think
Dreamer,
that's
from what I understand, Tommy Dreamer's taken some time off.
yeah, we know that.
And
But
that's I think also the reason why Santino's there is to fill that backstage role that Tommy Dreamer.
which great. I have a much greater appreciation
And
for him.
you could see it since Santino's come in. The quality has just improved.
I think it's just from being in WWE, he gets how to book matches.
Yeah. So he's not just an on-screen authority character. He's a booker. He's an agent.
Yeah. He
He's
was signed to them
helping.
as like a booker,
Yeah.
but he's also obviously can wrestle.
Yeah.
Far better than I actually remembered. Haven't seen the pay-per-view, couldn't tell you, but
First televised match in 9 years.
yeah. You know what? It's good things are coming for Impact. I think if they
Yeah.
can stay here, what they're doing is really good. And if I'm them, I'm dishing out the big bucks to lure in Mandy Rose.
Yeah.
I'm maybe even dishing out the bigger bucks to try and get Kota Ibushi. I don't know.
And the big bucks to get Peacock Power, Dalton
Yeah.
Castle.
If they somehow pulled all three of those people, I'm on to making fuck Berserker.
Yeah. Shout out to your shirt.
Yeah. Olaf Berserker.
For those who know, they know. But yeah, like I mean, it's making me excited for Slammiversary and Bound for Glory and what they have planned. Like,
Slammiversary needs to be an absolute monster this year.
Yeah, last year's was good. But
last year's was good, but with the trajectory they're on, I think you need to get a slightly bigger venue than you usually do.
Mm-hmm.
Like, go a little bit bigger than the norm.
Where are they going? I think Slammiversary is in Chicago this year.
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, so that is a pretty big step for them.
Last year, I swear, it was in the Impact Zone. Like in
no, it was here.
Was it?
Was it here or was it? No, they did a Slammiversary here.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they did it in the Orlando Impact Zone.
Or was it Tennessee? Like Nashville?
Oh yeah, it was. It was in their home base.
Yeah. Yeah, it was there. It was in Nashville. But yeah, from what I understand, I think it's Chicago this year. So
hey, good.
No, actually, they're doing it out of the same venue they did Sacrifice in Windsor.
No, that's a nice size venue.
Hey, coincides with my birthday, so
we're going to Slammiversary in Windsor.
I think so.
A 4-hour drive. Let's do it.
But place is a dirty place, but
yeah, we'll survive for one day.
Not as dirty as Hamilton or Oshawa. Shout out to all the Hamilton and Oshawa guys.
Yeah.
But yeah, anything else to add to this one? Anything that we missed? All right. So with that out of the way, thanks again for joining us. We'll see you all next time. And remember, the review for Rebellion will be coming out. We'll see what else we can get for you next week. So with that out of the way, thanks again for joining us. We'll see you next time. Goodbye and good night.